All right. I think it's coming. Yes. Yes. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is the Wednesday, January 8th. Couple of days before National Quitters Day. Are y'all familiar with that idea? National Quitters Day. National Quitters Day is in the U.S. It is January 10th because that is about how long people keep their New Year's resolutions. I know. So if you're already feeling like your New Year's resolution is basically done for, don't worry, you're not alone. Um, but welcome, happy to have you here. Excuse me while I work on a little bit of technical stuff today. I was hoping to also be able to do a test of my slides for the webinar this weekend, but that was proving to be far too advanced, so I decided just to come on and do this live before Script Slate Studio, the writer's room, meets here in about 10 minutes. So it'll be a little quick one, but I just wanted to jump on. So first of all, also want to reach out and send all the energy, all the love, all the protection, everything to everyone in California. It's actually crazy, all the fires that are going on right now. We hear about fires in California all the time, and I think it's easy to become desensitized to that information or think it doesn't affect you, or just think like, okay, well, that's happening, but like XYZ is happening to me. But I was seeing some of the footage today in my Instagram feed from people that I know, and just how residential this fire really truly is. It's devastating, and I hope that people are able to evacuate those who can, and those who can't, I hope you can stay safe, and hopefully you have the resources that you need or can access them. That's actually wild. So thoughts and, I don't want to say thoughts and prayers because that phrase, but you know what? Sending you all the protection and love here from Chicago. Woo! Moving on, because it's not what this live is about. So I wanted to talk to you about what has been happening since the new year. So this new year, I hit the ground really, really strong. Finished 3 scripts with 3 different directors and pitch decks for contests that we entered, and that was due January 3rd. So what a time to have a deadline right after the holidays. It's just absolutely grueling, but we did it, and I'm super, super stoked about it. And also, in terms of contests, I talked about last week a contest happening with Heavy Shovel Productions, which is a production group in New York, and they are hosting like a build a short vibe where they got these locations donated, and now they're looking for scripts that are specific to those locations, and if your script's selected, they're going to produce it. But not only that, I was actually reading the pitch deck today about everything, and the winning writers will also receive $500 as purchasing rights for their script. So that was really good to see, and I encourage y'all to try for that if you have the means and the ability, because that is due January 31st, right around the corner. I don't know what it is about these New Year like contests happening, but it's quick, it's fast. Do not hesitate. I actually posted a video today talking about like what I would recommend for those who are writing scripts for that contest, specifically the Build a Short. So you can just see that. It's a real quick watch. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to dive into any of those points. And also had a few different writers meetings this week. I have one tomorrow, and then another meeting with a director. So really hitting the ground running, which is so wild. But I wanted to take a second and really reflect on New Year's goals. Maybe you had a chance to see some of the posts I've been making about like, I don't make New Year's resolutions anymore. I really don't. I used to make them all the time, and I would get caught up in this like grand sweeping just belief that like this is the year. If I just put my nose to the grind and really hustle and really try, this is the year that one goal that keeps eluding me is gonna be done. And every year I failed. I failed to hit those goals, or the resolutions changed, or like they fell by the wayside. And that is so normal, and like so normal. I think like 92% of New Year's resolutions fail. I pulled that statistic out of my head, but it's a very high number that fail, right? And the reason is because we look at it and we think that this grand sweeping change, this will and desire to overcome, is going to be the thing that finally kickstarts us and changes us. And that's just not true. It's just not true. You're going to have more success with 1% habit changes than you will with a big sweeping claim or, oath to yourself to make a change. And that is just fact. And ever since I've been practicing that, I've seen a lot more real, genuine growth and change in my life. Has it been slower? Yes. Has it slows it down? Absolutely, but it makes it more reliable and more likely that you are actually going to keep that habit, and that it's going to be something that's in your life for a long time. So you can try to have something really fast and it be fleeting, or you can go a little bit slower and have that like stability and that rock solid knowledge that it's going to be there, and that's something that you built. That being said, that doesn't mean I don't have goals for 2025. I absolutely have goals for 2025, and you should too. There is a difference between a New Year's resolution that is like, okay, January 1st, I'm going to change my life and everything about me, and I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week and read 20 books a month, versus in 2025, I want to write X number of scripts. I want to get X number of scripts sold or produced, or have new connections, or learn a new skill. Like, that's very, very different. So I don't want there to be confusion that it's like goals aren't important, because goals are super important, and that is something that I work with my clients on, is setting attainable goals, and not just attainable goals, but goals with a clear path to get there. So whenever we think about what goals we want for 2025, we also need to think about the steps to get to those goals, and then they become less intimidating and more attainable and more likely that you're going to reach them. So what are my goals? What are my goals for? And while I say my goals, I'd love it if y'all put your own goals down in the comments about what you want to achieve in 2025. For me, I've been thinking about which scripts are most important to me, because I have a whole roster of ideas in my head and I simply cannot write them fast enough, if I'm being honest. As much time as I do spend writing and as many scripts as I turn out, there's still too many ideas. So I have to figure out like which ones are most important to me, which ones do I want to talk about for the next 2 years. And for that, there is a comedy half-hour pilot that I am currently in pre-development with for myself, right? So I don't mean production, I just mean like writing. Like, I'm still building the world, but I have a really solid world built for this. I'm not going to tell y'all specifics about like what the story's about. If you want to know that kind of information, I do have a group that we talk about this stuff every Wednesday over Zoom, and if you are interested in that, let me know. But I won't do that here on the internet until the script is like ready to be pitched out. But I have a half-hour comedy pilot that is new. I have an hour-long drama that I actually wrote and pitched last year, but I know it needs a full rewrite, and I know that there's structurally some issues with it, and so that one just needs a rewrite. And I also really want to get another feature, potentially too, under my belt this year. And I do know this is going to be a thriller-esque feature. I say thriller-esque because it's going to be a lot of comedy as well. It's definitely in the realm of scary movie, more so than actual like bloody horror. And I got this idea literally like 2 days after New Year's. I said, what if, I'm not gonna tell you, but what if this and this were combined, but make it scary movie? This could be, this one feels like this one feels like my $10 million idea that is accessible to all and just fun if it's done right. And I honestly think I might need a team. But you know what? We're working on that. So I would love to hear about y'all's goals if you have them, what you're trying to do in 2025. Definitely drop those in the comments. I think another goal is figuring out Streamlabs, because I really want to be able to show you guys a sneak preview of the webinar this weekend, but I didn't figure out the technology part of it yet. So that's something I have to do over the next couple days. If you're looking to write more in 2025 and maybe you made those New Year's resolutions and you kind of are already overwhelmed by them and you're like, wow, this is harder than I thought. Like, it doesn't have to be. And we can work on making a writing plan that doesn't make you want to cry, that actually integrates into your life. If that's something you're interested in, I'm hosting a free webinar this weekend on Sunday. Stop stalling and start writing. So I really am just going to dive deep into those 1% changes I was talking about and the writing habits that I have built over the last 4 years that help me produce award-winning scripts and help me get scripts out to production companies so that I actually have things in the world and they're not just like sitting in my brain. And if you want to also be able to do that with your scripts, I would love if you come and join us this weekend. The link is in my bio. Stop stalling and start writing. It's just a little free webinar. So, I hope that train isn't too bad. My house has just been super noisy this week, so that's not been great. But you know what? We're working through it. And thank God for technology and all the noise canceling things that exist just kind of built in. Like I said, today is going to be a little bit of a shorter live because I have to run to the writer's room that's happening here in like 2 minutes. And I got a little tied up with the technology. But if you guys ever have any questions, please shoot me a DM, drop a comment. Like, I want to know what you all are thinking about as screenwriters, especially as we move into this new year. They kept saying survive till 2025. Well, we made it. We're here. And I think that it's going to be a buyer heavy market very soon, maybe even March. So if you're trying to get something polished, definitely do it. Definitely put in the time right now because you will see the fruits of your labor later on this year. Don't get caught up being like, oh shoot, I wish I had started in January. When the opportunity arrives, you want to be ready. What did they say? When it comes knocking, you want to be ready. So on that note, I'm gonna hop off, but I wish you all just the best week. And again, sending all of the support and protection to those affected by the fires in LA. And I hope a lot of things, I feel like everything you could possibly say comes off as a little fake, but I really do hope that y'all are safe and that things can be replaced. And as much as that sucks, that you cannot be replaced. And I'm hoping LA still exists in the future because it's been a real hard year for LA. Just all around, a hard couple years. Really hard since 2020, let's be honest. All right, so I'm gonna bounce out now before I say